Now, your 41 NBC AccuWeather forecast, presented by Volume Chevrolet.
Well, welcome back. Here we are in Dublin on this Tuesday afternoon. A lot of sunshine, not much going on with the cloud cover. It is a little warm, 86, which is pretty close to maybe a little bit below the average for this time of year. Wind says from the northwest. Not going to be as adamant about the wind direction this week. Last week, it really didn't change at all. It was out of the northeast all week long, but things are going to probably be a little calmer and more variable with much of the wind throughout this week. Nothing really to track on our radar here in middle Georgia. There are a couple of showers, looks like to the northwest towards Peachtree City. Other than that, things are pretty quiet here in the Peach State. We actually got down to the upper 50s last night. 58 was our low, 88 for today's high. That's tied with the average for this time of year. Going pretty good through this evening, keeping it in the low to mid 80s through supper time. Should again start to get into the 60s around midnight, and expecting largely lower 60s out the door tomorrow morning. I've got to the low of 63. There's a possibility I may bump this down a little bit just based on the fact that we did get to 58 last night. Wind is not going to be out of the northeast overnight, though. It will begin to be a little more variable in nature, so that could keep things a degree or two warmer, but it should mainly be lower 60s. Perhaps Eastman gets into the upper 50s, but yeah, another one of those pretty cool nights still for this time of year. But it is overall a warmer week this week than last week. Before I even get into what we're seeing here in the Peach State, I do want to point out you will probably end up hearing a little bit about what's happening in Virginia, North Carolina, and Maryland over the next few days. It's been very quiet so far in terms of discussion on this low, but it is tropical in nature. It's just, it's not classified as depression or a storm or anything. It's not bringing stronger winds or storm surge, but still some flooding rain potential could be affecting some of those coastal areas in the mid-Atlantic. So you may hear about that in the coming days. Bringing it back here to middle Georgia, you do see the fronts tied to that. Maybe it will lead on to a couple of shower chances tomorrow. I doubt we're going to get anything rain-wise on Thursday or Friday. Should just be a good amount of sunshine with a few afternoon clouds both those days. I do have a 10% on Saturday, but still not too much to worry about rain chance-wise this week. My biggest concern is this right here. 90% odds for development over not just the next 7 days, but also the next 48 hours. Keep in mind the next name on the list is Gabrielle. I would much prefer if this thing was curved the other way, facing a little more north. I just don't like the possibilities that could be opened with this trajectory here in terms of the southeastern U.S. But we'll obviously follow that as we go forward and hope for a turn north that keeps it out to sea. So overnight tonight, not too much expected with cloud cover, maybe a shower or two for our northernmost counties, but not too worried about rain chances. Tomorrow, we could have a shower or maybe a thunderstorm, but I do think this is a little bit aggressive. I only have us at 10% for tomorrow. Should be a mostly clear night tomorrow night, and then we'll have a little more sunshine for our Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow we'll still have a good amount of sun, but it may be one of the cloudier days of the week. Your extended forecast is coming up in 10 seconds. Your 41 NBC AccuWeather 7-day forecast is brought to you by Volume Chevrolet. So we are seeing 90s make a return this week. I've only got Macon in them starting Thursday through Saturday, but we already had McRae get there today. It might be a couple others as we go through this week. Not too many rain chances. Perhaps we could get a bit of a cool down next week.
For weather updates on the go, download the 41 NBC AccuWeather app and follow 41 NBC on Facebook and Twitter.